What is up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Magali. If this is your first video of mine, I'm a personal trainer and I make videos on here on YouTube all about losing weight, building muscle, building your physique, learning how to live healthier, and anything and everything in between. My approach is to make this information as simple to understand as possible and just basically be a resource that I wish I had when I was a beginner years ago. So if you enjoy content all about fitness and you like that approach and you want to see more videos of mine, then don't forget to subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my future uploads. Don't forget to like this video to let me know you enjoy this type of content. And let's just get into one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to setting goals, achieving goals, just getting themselves to get to their goal. This is one of the biggest problems and why most people fail. Becoming so hyper-focused and so obsessed with the outcome, with the end result goal that we have. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing you want to focus on. So like I said, I'm a personal trainer. I have coached many different types of clients: women, men, mothers, fathers, parents, people who work full-time, people who are in school, people with injuries, people with weight loss goals, people with building muscle goals. I've had a wide variety of clients that I've had the pleasure to work with. Without exception, every single one comes to me with an objective goal of either I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lift X amount of weight, I want to fit into this size, a very specific goal. Having that kind of goal is not a bad thing. It is not something that you shouldn't set. And in fact, I ask every single one of my clients when they come to work with me, what do you want, right? Like, what are you looking to accomplish? What goals matter to you? What is the reason you're here? And of course, you're going to start with, well, I want to lose X amount of pounds and I want to gain this, whatever. So I am by no means discouraging you or saying you should not set these goals. The problem becomes when you obsess only about that and ignore everything else, and you're not focusing and putting your attention where it actually matters. And that is in the how we're gonna get to that goal. Constantly focusing on the weight on the scale, constantly focusing on the weight on the bar that you're lifting, the pant size you're in, and letting that consume your thoughts and your actions, and becoming impatient with yourself that you're not getting there in what you thought was the right amount of time. It's a human thing to be impatient. It's a human thing to want the end result. It's how our brains are wired. The problem becomes you obsess so much over it that when you don't achieve it in a time frame or by when you thought you would achieve it, everything else that you've built, all of the other habits, everything else that exercise and eating good brings to you doesn't matter. And so a lot of people end up quitting because they don't see that one thing and ignore everything else. Here's a very unpopular truth that's a hard pill to swallow. We do not have control, direct control of the number on the scale. We do not have direct control on the weight on the bar that we're lifting. We do not have direct control of the pants that fit us that day. It's not something you choose, right? Because then we would all choose to lose 20 pounds. We would all choose to lift 500 pounds. We don't choose these things. We choose behaviors and actions and steps that push us towards those goals. What am I doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to get myself towards that goal? That is our aim, and you should have an aim. Having the 100-pound weight loss is an aim you should have, because then it helps shape what behaviors and actions you choose to engage in to get you closer to that goal. But we do not have control over what the weight says, what the scale says. We don't control that, and never will. Again, the how and the what about how we're gonna do it is the most important aspect, because with that comes a whole other bunch of amazing things that happen. Self-confidence, because you've stuck to your actions and your goals for the day. Physical health improving, sleep patterns improving, working out better, hitting your goal for a number of workout sessions that week. All of these other things that in combination over time will get you closer to your aim, all of those matter too, and they're more important for you to focus on, because that's what's gonna get you there. Not focusing on the 100-pound weight loss and trying to get there as fast as possible. And because, again, if you hyper focus on that not happening, you get discouraged, you get frustrated, and you want to quit. And a lot of people do, because they can't handle the patience it takes to focus on the behaviors, even though they're not the sexy things, they're not the fun things, they're the boring, monotonous daily tasks that you have to do every day. That is the pathway to get to that ultimate goal. And again, they get frustrated, they get discouraged, and so they quit. Also, another thing to keep in mind, this is going to happen to all of you at some point. You're not going to achieve an objective goal by either a certain time. You're not going to look the way that you thought you looked. Something's going to be off where it's not exactly how you envisioned things would go once you got to that point. Maybe it's 6 months into your journey and you haven't lost as much weight as you thought you would. Maybe you've been lifting for a year and you thought you would be a lot stronger than you are now. I've struggled with that. You're going to get to a point where your expectations do not meet reality. It's going to happen. I am telling you, it is going to happen. This is not, you're not exempt from this, okay? Because we don't live in a perfect world. When those situations arise, this is a point where most people say, fuck it, I'm out, I'm quitting. Despite having all of this evidence of saying you're going in the right direction, even if we've lost a little bit of weight. If it's not where you want it to be, it didn't matter, it doesn't count, I'm quitting. But when you're focusing on the process, on the daily steps, on being 1% better in those things, even though yes, you can be disappointed, yes, you can be upset about that, that's totally a normal feeling. But you're not gonna sit there and say, well, all of this was for fucking nothing, I'm out. It's like, okay, I'm not where I wanna be quite yet, but I know that I'm lifting more weight than I was lifting at the beginning of the year. I know that although I'm not at my weight loss goal yet, I am eating a lot more healthy than I was 6 months ago. I'm drinking a lot more water than I was, and how could that not be better for me? It's just a little bit more time that I have to put into it, or maybe I have to refine what I'm doing, or maybe I have to be honest with myself and say, you know what, you haven't been as consistent as you could be. But when you're focused on just, did I hit the goal or not, and nothing else matters, then you can see how easily frustrated and more likely to quit you are to be in that moment. Maybe this has happened to you a few times in the past where you've reached that point and it becomes so overwhelming and frustrating and discouraging that you've quit. And maybe it's been multiple times. Imagine how much further along you would be if instead of quitting at that point, you kept going. How much further would you be now? Maybe you wouldn't even be to your goal quite just yet, but again, you'd be a lot closer. You are going to get impatient. You're not going to see results every point that you want to see them. You're going to be disappointed at some points. You're going to be discouraged. You're going to wish and want results to be faster than they're going. So instead of trying to avoid that happening, understand it will. And when it does, you're going to hang on to your process, the hows, the daily things that I'm doing to get myself there, and reminding myself of how far I've come to overcome that discouragement, and I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to stop. Do not let that impatience of that outcome goal take over. Do not become inconsistent. Do not give in to the temptation of just starting over. As long as you are honestly is a key word here, being consistent with what you're doing, and you give it enough time, you are going to get there. It may not be in the time frame you wanted, it may not be the exact way you wanted, it may not even be the weight that you wanted, but you're gonna get closer and closer and closer the longer you stick with it. Your main focus is not how many pounds did I lose yesterday, how much weight have I lost since this. How are my habits and behaviors different than when I started? Am I moving towards that 100-pound weight loss goal? Moving towards. Yes, then you're doing well. No? Okay, what do we need to adjust? Where am I being inconsistent? What am I doing that's not working? What obstacles do I need to overcome? But not, it's not working, I'm just done. That's the mentality that we go into when we're only caring about that one thing. Set as big goals as you want. I am not discouraging that, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. That is your North Star. That is your guiding point. That is telling you where we are headed and what the objective of everything that we're doing is. But it is not the only thing that's going to change. It is not the only benefit you're going to get from taking care of yourself and prioritizing your health and fitness. There is going to be so many other incredible things that happen to your life. Less stress. Clothes are fitting better. You're sleeping better, you're eating better, you're working out more consistently. All of which are so important, not just for the objective goal, but for you to live a high quality life. You need to celebrate those too. You need to be aware of those wins too, because they are more important than that one singular goal that you're working towards. We just do not have objective control. We do not have direct control of those outcome goals. We can't press a button and say, I lost weight today. We can't press a button and fit into our pants. We can't press a button and lift the lift that we want to lift. Sometimes it'll happen, sometimes it won't. But you know what you do have a button for? Did you work out or not? Did you eat your vegetables for the day or not? Did you go on the walk? Did you hit your step count or not? It's a yes or no question. That is within your control. That is what your main focus should be. And again, as long as you do that long enough and you're honestly consistent about it, it's a matter of time. You just have to sit down, be consistent, and wait while doing all of those things. I don't care what magic fairy tale people want to sell you. This is how it works. Long-term weight loss, long-term building muscle, long-term healthy habits, not just cycling and falling on and off and yo-yo dieting. Consistently long-term health and good outcomes work like this. So whenever you see a marketing campaign saying lose weight in 6 weeks and keep it up forever and, you know, do this magic work, no. Moral of the story here is you have to be patient, and the majority of your focus should be on the habits and the daily steps you're going to take to get to your goals, more so than the goal itself. And as long as you're consistent and as long as you are honest, and you might even need to retract a little bit because the goals that you're setting day to day are too hard right now. Okay, maybe we reduce the amount of workouts we do in a week. Maybe we do less vegetable intake, whatever you need to do to make sure you're able to hit it consistently. But once you do that, you wait long enough, you're patient, then eventually you'll get there and you'll become such a better person for it. And then your big goal, again, will be a matter of time. But you cannot let it consume you. It cannot be the only thing you care about. Because when those roadblocks hit us, it will knock you out. And the way that we see those results happen is we don't get knocked out and we keep moving. Slowly, a different path or whatever, but still moving. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and a little bit motivating. I hope that it inspired you to really focus on what actually matters. And I promise you, just give yourself enough time and give yourself enough consistency. You're going to see things happen, and you're going to be shocked at how much better you feel by focusing on those things rather than did I lose weight, did I lose weight, did I lose weight. It's going to be much more happier, much more pleasant experience. You're going to be a lot more consistent, and then of course, as a result, you're actually going to get there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you know somebody else that would benefit from this video, maybe they're struggling with the same thing, I would really appreciate it if you thought of me and sent this video their way. Hopefully it's also able to help them as well. And it really helps me and my channel out when more people are exposed to the video. So thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for your support. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.